It has been quite some time for me to post another video. Lots of things have happened. So I want to talk about Litecoin today and some ideas that I've been having, you know, for better or for worse. Litecoin is a great coin, 100% uptime, never messed up. Good beginnings, solid beginnings. There's no founder's stash like in Bitcoin. It's all around good coin. It's going to last forever. Long term, it's going to be here. It's going to be awesome. However, in the short term, it's being forgotten about a little bit. And why is it being forgotten about a little bit? Because of the flavor of the year, the flavor of the month, these things such as NFTs and DeFi. Now, on a separate topic, NFTs and DeFi. They're real. They're a thing. I've used DeFi successfully, and I've used CeFi successfully, and I've played around with NFTs. The question for those things is there a real use case for a significant amount of people that live in this world? I think there is, but I think it's years away from being able to be used by the everyday common citizen, and that's why you see like 125% APY, because it's just it's nascent, it's new, it's just getting its foothold. So what do I mean by in the short term Litecoin can be a little bit forgotten about? Well, Litecoin is a proof of work coin that is focused on being sound money. Now, I think it has proven that. Maybe the math doesn't perfectly work out, but Litecoin is as secure as Bitcoin was when Bitcoin had the current market cap of Litecoin. So Litecoin's current market cap is, I don't know, but whatever it was, whatever it is today, when Bitcoin's market cap was the same as Litecoin's today, that's basically the security. Why? Because Bitcoin dominates SHA-256 and Litecoin dominates script mining. Yes, we do merge mining with Doge. I think that only makes us stronger and more secure. And it makes Doge stronger and more secure. So right now, it seems to not matter that much. Sound money, Bitcoin, it's a big deal. Bitcoin's going to continue to get stronger. But for whatever reason, the space has moved on to DeFi and NFTs. Now, I have nothing against them. I'm for the market. I'm for the free market. I'm for market forces to get bigger, get stronger, and experiment. I see them as big experimentations, and absolutely nothing wrong with that. I do see the Bitcoin community, for whatever reason, not all of them, but a significant amount of them, they're very hostile towards the experimentation that Ethereum has done. They're very hostile and almost angry about things like NFTs, things like DeFi. They claim that it's somewhat scammy. People are going to get screwed. People are going to lose all their money. Some of that is good advice, but at the end of the day, the market is going to decide that, and they almost are taking a position where they think their coin, Bitcoin, is like a god coin, and I don't see it that way. Now, mind you, most of my money is in Bitcoin. You know, that's my number one coin. Number one coin is Bitcoin. Number two, Litecoin. Number 3 to 7. I've got some other things going on. Just because I think the space is moving in a different direction. Other things are growing. I still think sound money is the best application of cryptocurrencies, but there seems to be more applications than just sound money. Now, some people will argue that blockchains are only good for sound money. Blockchain's only useful technology is to create something like a Bitcoin. I don't know. I kind of used to believe that too, because blockchains are slow. They can have high fees. They're kind of clunky, you know, 6 confirmations. And I kind of saw that. And I kind of see why people hated Ethereum. And I'm still not a big Ethereum lover. I mean, the gas fees are outrageous. But the technology seems to be pretty cool. And now we're kind of understanding that blockchain, maybe its most powerful use case is sound money, but it has unleashed some type of creativity and sparked some imagination amongst developers, and especially young people, young creative people. It has sparked something. You can see this with Ethereum. You can see this with Solana. You can see this with Polkadot. You can see this with Cardano. You can see this with Matic. You can see this with Polygon. You can see this with Algorand. So many use cases are like, instead of a stock market that's not 24/7, they could create a tokenized stock market that is 24/7, or create a NFT marketplace that can track a popular item and give its royalties to the original owner. There are use cases that blockchain has unleashed that we may not have thought it unleashed in the beginning. And that's due to, I don't know what it's due to, but it happened. It looks like, for whatever reason, the human soul, the human mind needed a spark of intuition. And when Bitcoin was created, yes, it looks like it has a possibility of solving sound money, which is just enormous. The biggest use case, in my opinion. It's huge. But Satoshi's solving the double spend problem and the blockchain or time chain or whatever you have, it also unleashed some type of spark, some type of innovation that, oh, he solved sound money this way. Well, I'm going to solve this different problem using the blockchain this way. And for, you know, maybe the first 8 years of Bitcoin's existence, lots of people thought it was Bitcoin, not blockchain. And we're definitely still arguing about that. Bitcoin, not blockchain. In like 2016, 2017, there was a huge blockchain versus Bitcoin debate, and Ethereum had these ICOs, and there was all these garbage coins, Dentacoin, Lisk, hell, Bitcoin Cash. Like, I could list a lot. Maybe some tried to have a use case, but they're all garbage. A lot of these, you know, ICO / fans, EOS type of coins, they're trying to solve different things, and at the end of the day, they resulted into be a shit coin. And then, so people kind of thought, well, that's how it's always going to be. It's Bitcoin, not blockchain. And when like 2017, 2018, 2019, it kind of swung back to it's Bitcoin, not blockchain. Okay, and then 2020, and mind you, Ethereum has been here throughout. And then 2020, 2021, those years happened. We're still in 2021. And I think somewhere in the year 2019, DeFi started. And I thought, that's pretty cool. DeFi looks pretty cool. Even to this day, I don't really use it. It's a little MetaMask, and it's a little too technical. I don't feel like using it because of the gas fees, but it's evolving. There's a dynamic atmosphere about it, and it's getting stronger. And that was on Ethereum. And then NFTs happened. Now that's creating a whole nother atmosphere. And now there's metaverse, where you're buying digital land. And a lot of people saying that the metaverse and digital land can't work are the same kind of people that couldn't see how Bitcoin could work, because it's not tangible, it's not real. Can't they just create another one? So the same reasons why I think maybe DeFi, NFTs, this metaverse thing are going to work are similar reasons why Bitcoin worked, because digital scarcity is real. That's what it comes down to for me. Is digital scarcity real scarcity? And it looks like yes, it is true scarcity if it's developed in the right way. There are still so many questions to be answered. A lot of these experiments are just experiments that are going to die, and you can still get burned. But these ideas, these NFTs, these metaverse, digital real estate and things like that, and decentralized financed, where you can get loans, not through the government, or you can get loans and interest, not under the guise of centralized hubs, where they're these decentralized autonomous organizations and these decentralized blockchains. They're real, and they're doing some things. For example, there's this wallet called Exodus. It's a great wallet where you can have all your tokens in a secure way. You have your seed words. They just issued their own stock. I believe it was on Algorithm, and it was a little bit clunky, but you know, it turned out to be a decent product. You can own a stock on a blockchain. You can own a stock on a blockchain, and there's lots of applications for that. So there was a couple times where I was close to becoming a maximalist, and I just, you know, I sat down and I thought about it, and I didn't become a maximalist because of things like that. So let's bring it back to Litecoin. So Litecoin's getting a little bit forgotten about. Litecoin is kind of fading away. I'm a realist. I've always tried to be a realist. Litecoin is kind of fading away, but that doesn't have to mean that it's going to fade away forever. I'm in line to get some coffee, so this might be boring. All right, so that doesn't mean Litecoin is going to have to be faded away forever, but I do think twofold. Long term, I think Litecoin is going to be fine. It's good, sound money. It does what it needs to do. It has cheap fees. It has a fantastic community. It's an all-around solid coin. But in the short term, I don't want Litecoin to fall to 30, 40, 50, 60. I'm hoping that it doesn't fall that far. I feel like going for a ride. Work can wait. All right, so where was I? I don't want Litecoin to fade away, to go into the 20s and the 30s and 40s and 50s and, you know, not capture the short-term tokenomics that it needs. Because once you fade away in crypto, it's hard to pull yourself back up. But if you remember a coin called DGB, very solid coin, nothing wrong with it, proof of work, solid beginnings, solid coin all around. You know, that kind of faded away. You haven't really heard of that coin anymore. So I do not want the same fate as Digibyte. Again, absolutely nothing wrong with that community. It was a good community. It's still going. It's not dead yet. But it faded away. I don't know. I think it's somewhere between, I think it's like number 100 or something. Anyways, I don't want Litecoin to fade away. And unfortunately, if you're not the new sexiest thing, if you're not Bitcoin the king, if you're not doing these cool new things like NFTs, DeFi, metaverse type of things, it looks like you might start fading away. I mean, look at Monero. That's fading. I think Bitcoin Cash is fading even more than Litecoin, even though it's everywhere. So I don't want something like Litecoin, which I believe is the second greatest cryptocurrency to ever exist, to fade away because it's being replaced by these new fanciful, cool, creative, experimental ideas. So what can be done? All right. So even though it's a boring proof of work coin, Litecoin can be built upon, just like Bitcoin could be built upon. And although it's not maybe practical, Bitcoin can have NFTs. It can have some type of DeFi. It's just not built for that. So when it comes to Litecoin, it's good that the community is open to these types of ideas, because like I was saying earlier, Bitcoin is almost hostile towards these new expressive ideas, while Litecoin has more of an open community, and we at least explore new ideas. We have Mimblewimble coming. We have something called OmniLite, and we just have, yeah, a more open and I guess inclusive approach to the blockchain, not Bitcoin type of world. So one of the problems with Litecoin is, you know, it has a Litecoin Foundation, which is great, and they do a lot of great things, and the proof of work works flawlessly, exactly what it's supposed to do, but there's not really any money, because it does come down to money. There's not really any pool of money. There's not really any stash of money that can hire developers to develop on the Litecoin network to grow these sorts of things like NFTs on Litecoin, to grow DeFi on Litecoin. Now, why do I mention that? If you could actually get NFTs, decentralized finance, the metaverse on Litecoin, it would be amazing. Why? All right, so as Solana and things like Polkadot are trying to replace Ethereum because of their high gas fees, I don't see any reason why Litecoin couldn't do that as well. The Litecoin fees are much lower than Ethereum, and the sound money of Litecoin is stronger than Ethereum. I really do believe that. Ethereum isn't even trying to be sound money anymore. It's really, really being aggressive in terms of all these different cool aspects of blockchain. And what did they sacrifice? They sacrificed gas fees. If you're not moving about $1,000 worth of Ethereum around, there's really no point. You really can't move, or you can't really use Ethereum all that well. You could stake it, put it on a platform to access these cool NFTs, DeFi, all those things, and it's almost like the technology is growing faster than the Ethereum blockchain can handle. Actually, that's exactly what's going on. The applications of these new technologies are going way too fast for the Ethereum blockchain to handle. And that's why, you know, Solana and different things like that are trying to build a different blockchain so that it can handle all that. Now, that's all experimental in my mind. It's still even Ethereum, I believe, is still very experimental. It's aggressive. They change the code all the time. There's these new implements. They're moving from proof of work to proof of stake. They're doing this, they're doing that. It's very loosey-goosey. Now, Litecoin is not loosey-goosey. Like Bitcoin, we want to move a little bit slower and have a pristine layer 1 blockchain. And we have accomplished that. And Charlie and the Litecoin Foundation aren't just willy-nilly doing things to pump the price, or we're not going to burn coins, we're not going to change proof of work to proof of stake, we're not going to change from script to whatever. We're not going to do that. And I think that's an advantage, because if you can build NFT marketplaces and build DeFi on something sound like Litecoin, I think that has an opportunity to be absolutely massive. And Bitcoin has been hostile, has been almost somewhat aggressive against these new ideas, where they're not really, I don't know if they would have open arms even if a developer wanted to build these sorts of things out on Bitcoin. So that leaves Litecoin. And I'm kind of running out of ideas right now, but somehow Litecoin needs to solve this issue. It doesn't have a lot of money or funds for developers to build on the Litecoin network. It's run through donations and the Litecoin Foundation kind of like donation. That's really all it's got. There's a Litecoin shop. It just needs more. It needs to solve the problem of, it's not a business. It's more of a, you know, decentralized, autonomous organization. Not exactly, but it needs to solve the problem of how can we have developers develop on the Litecoin network, especially if they want to get paid. This is kind of the idea of centralization versus decentralization debate. Bitcoin is decentralized and it's awesome, but all these new technologies seem to kind of need some type of centralization to build these new technologies out. And the centralization comes from the beginnings of the new blockchain. Like, I'm sure they claim they're decentralized, but I don't know. And I'm not saying they aren't, but all the other blockchains I've mentioned so far, like Algorand, Solana, Polkadot, Cardano, things like that, seem to be a little bit more centralized so they could build out these technologies. Well, Litecoin is it's always kind of taking a position where, yeah, we're going to be a lot like Bitcoin, but we're going to take a slightly different approach. So hopefully, maybe that slightly different approach is going to allow us to tap into the NFTs, the DeFi, and the metaverse. Every time I say it, I don't even know what I'm talking about. But if somehow Litecoin can tap into these different cool technologies, in the short term, I don't think it's going to fade away, and we're going to become more robust and strong, and which is only going to increase the likelihood that our long-term aspects stick around. Litecoin's always going to stick around. It's always going to be there. It has solved a lot of problems, as in it's a good sound money, and we're focused on payments. People always forget about payments. Litecoin has that in their back pocket. People never think payments are a big deal. One day, payments could become a big deal. So Litecoin still has that going for it. I'm excited about Litecoin's future prospect, but I do think we have a short-term problem in terms of not tapping into these different cool technologies. We do have something called OmniLite, and if we can get a stable coin, I think that'd be a great beginning. And if Litecoin can get a stable coin, that would be a great first step and can solve a lot of problems. Why would it solve a lot of problems? Well, if you know what BlockFi is, if you know what Abra is, if you know what centralized finance is, you can earn a lot of interest and a lot of money on these different centralized exchanges. However, when you want to cash out or move your money, you could do it on the blockchain like Bitcoin, Litecoin. That works good. Works real good. If you want to move Ethereum, it doesn't work that great, higher fees. If you're interacting with the legacy model and you want to, if you want to pay off your house or pay off something, or you just need actual real cash to pay for things, you want to, flip it to a stable coin and then move that stable coin and cash it out. All right, well, moving to that stable coin is pretty easy. Getting that stable coin and moving it to another blockchain at this time costs a lot of money, because most of them, I know they're technically able to be on different blockchains, but right now most of them are on Ethereum. And even when you move a stable coin, $100 worth of stable coin, and you move it to a different exchange or different platform, that costs a lot of money for these different centralized exchanges. It costs a lot of money for everybody to use. So if we get a stable coin on the Litecoin network, that's going to solve a ton of problems, lots of problems. Also, something like called atomic swaps might be able to solve a lot of problems, but I don't think we're there yet. So what I'm saying is the future could be bright for Litecoin, but I think it needs to tap into and somehow get a little bit more aggressive in terms of building these different cool technologies out on the Litecoin network, or at least be interoperable with them, because I don't want Litecoin to fade away. And these are just my thoughts. All right, have a good day. Bye.